Alright, hair is extra neutron today. What's going on YouTube? My name is Chris and welcome to Immodernation. Now after last week putting out the LCD side panel mod version 2.0, I decided this week I was going to give myself a bit of a break. It only took me about 2 years to put the last video out, so I wanted to do something a little bit shorter. Now recently I was doing a little bit of online shopping and I found an EVGA GTX 1060 6GB edition for about $140 on eBay. Now granted, okay, it's not the most amazing deal in the world. I mean, after all, these graphics cards are a few years old, they're kind of on their way out. The RTX series is now available. But I was able to snag this for a reasonable price, at least in my opinion. You can't take that away from me. Anyway, the number one reason why I wanted to snag an EVGA card in particular was so I could finish my EVGA PowerLink mod, a mod which I started last year and was unable to finish. But that's a video for another time. What's also interesting about this graphics card is that it also has an LED plate on it that tells you what card it is and it lights up when the computer's on. And it gave me an idea. This video is going to be the start of what I hope to be a 3-part series on how to modify graphics cards. And the first 2 are going to be specific to EVGA graphics cards. The third one will be, well, I guess you'll just have to wait and find out. Also in this video, I'm going to be introducing some brand new tools to help me along the way. Let's get started. Time to remove that inferior Zotac 1060 and replace it with this EVGA 6GB 1060. Gotta peel off that white plastic dip before I put it back in the box. First thing I noticed about this EVGA graphics card is the switch from a 6-pin to an 8-pin header, and I wonder if it's because there's 2 fans or more memory. Or both. This is an eBay product after all, so I need to test to make sure that it works before we continue with the mod. Well, the system power's on, so that's a good start, but now to test the lighting. Yes, that glowing faceplate was exactly what I was looking for. In order to get the faceplate off, we're going to need to pry it off with a plastic pry tool. You could buy these pry tools using the links in the video description below. You want to try to get the edge of the plastic pry tool underneath the faceplate before you slide across and lift up. Now carefully lift the faceplate up, you don't want to break it. It's actually better that you proceed slowly because any sort of bends or creases could be left permanently in the faceplate. There it is, nothing special, just printed on plastic. You can clearly see the light underneath, but just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and lift it up and show you what it looks like. It's a white light bar that plugs into the graphics card similar to a fan connector. So the first tool that I used is one that I already talked about in the previous video. It's the Dremel Moto Saw. So this is actually a combination scroll saw and coping saw. And what's nice about it is that it's portable. You can put everything back into its case and neatly store it underneath a desk or a table. Unlike typical scroll saws, which are massive and require a lot of space. What also attracted me to this specific scroll saw is the price. It was very affordable. I've seen a lot of modders use it, including Miles from Ditech Mods. Definitely check out his videos. Dremel as a company is known for their rotary tools, and I kind of got tired of using a rotary tool to cut out acrylic. It works, but it takes a lot longer. That's why I purchased this bad boy. First thing I'm going to do is cut out the rough shape of the nameplate. Don't forget your safety glasses, kids. Immodernation doesn't want to get sued. I wish I could cut this fast. No, sadly it's the power of video editing. With the rough shape cut out, I'm going to trace around it with a marker and begin my fine cutting detail. After I cut out the piece, I lightly sanded the corners and the sides. I'm not going to show you everything because this video is going to be long enough, but take my word for it. The other tool that I'm going to be using for this video is the Silhouette Portrait. This is a die cut tool. What it allows me to do is cut out paper or vinyl or any other sort of thin material into very intricate designs that my hands simply don't have the ability to do. I've tried cutting with rotary tools in the past and my hand is very shaky. I'm not able to get intricate detail on vinyl or acrylic. This is computer aided. It will allow me to do more intricate cuts. It'll also allow me to create stencils. It'll allow me to do a lot of things actually. And again, I want to thank Miles from Ditech Mods for the recommendation. He has a Silhouette Portrait, so I decided to get the new one.
Alright, I'm going to jump straight into Silhouette Studio, which is free to download from the Silhouette website. I'm going to be using the Immodernation logo, which I've already cropped down from my banner. By the way, my Silhouette portrait is already turned on and plugged into the laptop via USB. By clicking on the image once, we begin to see the rulers appear. The acrylic piece that I cut out is about 5.5 inches, so to make sure that the logo fits, I'm going to scale it down to 5 inches. It's also important that our image fit onto the white portion of the workspace in between the red cut lines. This will ensure that it's cut out properly. Using the transform menu, I'm going to center the logo on the top of the page. Next, I'm going to open up the trace menu. This is going to tell the machine where to cut. I click on select trace area and then I drag the cursor over the entire logo. The yellow portion is where the machine is going to cut, but unfortunately the mod in Immodernation has disappeared. By bringing down the threshold, I'm telling the machine to cut everything except for the letters. I'm also going to bring scale down to 4 to get the highest resolution, but your settings may vary. Once I click trace, the yellow will disappear. We can now drag the image off and we can see the trace left behind. We can now click on the image and hit delete to remove the image. And now we click on send to send the cut to the machine. The settings I'm using right now are for cardstock because I want to run a test before I cut into vinyl. We could change the material by clicking on the material drop-down menu and selecting matte vinyl. Make sure the tool is set to auto blade and the portrait 2 is ready. Then click send. For the test piece, I'm using plain red cardstock. It's attached to the adhesive cutting mat so it doesn't move around while the machine is cutting. The machine has to select which cutting blade to use and then we're off to the races. I would be amazed if this machine really cut that fast, but no, sadly I'm fast forwarding the clip. It looks pretty good. Let's do the real thing. I'm using Oracle 651 black vinyl, and if you'd like to purchase some, you could use the affiliate link in the video description below. Looking very nice. Alright, peel fanatics, it's a moment you've all been waiting for. Say it with me. It's time to peel it off. That's right, get all your hot peel action here. No credit card number necessary. And now I have to carefully position it on the acrylic. Transfer paper would have been easier, but I got too excited. Once I have it positioned where I want, I'm using a plastic razor blade to smooth out the edges. Now using an X-Acto knife, I'm going to cut the excess vinyl off of the acrylic. This will give me a clean edge. Now that we're done, all there's left to do is put it back into the system. Cut the lights and admire our work. I even added some red electrical tape to give it a nice finishing touch.
All right, so there you have it. We are at the end of our video. See, I told you it was a quick and easy project. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. Now, can you do this with other graphics cards? Of course, but the design that I was looking at was very specific to EVGA. I'm not sure if other companies like Zotac do this. I've seen other EVGA cards that do have light up panels, but they are not quite the same as this one. I'm of course pointing to the EVGA GTX 1080 Ti, which has a much thinner panel on it. Could you still do something with that? Yes. Now, as far as the Dremel Moto Saw and the Silhouette Portrait go, I know they're both very expensive. They have a lot of upfront cost to them. If you're going to be doing any sort of modding in the future, I highly recommend them, but if not, maybe you just want to use that rotary tool instead. Now, what's really interesting is the EVGA 2080 Ti Kingpin edition, which has an LCD readout on the side. Not only does it give the Kingpin graphic, but also tells you temperature. Maybe there's a video about that in the future. Will it be in this series? No, probably not. I still have got some things to work out, but I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure you slap that like button below and share the video. And while you're at it, why not join the Modern Nation and get subscribed by clicking on that subscribe button below. And hey, when you do, don't forget to click on the bell icon inside the button to be notified the moment that I release new videos. If you have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them for me in the comment section below, or why not hit me up on social media? I'd love to hear from you guys. And when you buy products from Amazon, consider using the affiliate links in the video description below. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see ya!